Before you scroll away, before you tell yourself you've heard it all before, I want you to take a breath and listen. Because what I'm about to share with you might just shift the way you see your life, your choices, and your future. I know how easy it is to lose faith in yourself. I know what it feels like to wake up with a heavy heart, questioning your worth, questioning your direction, and wondering if your voice even matters in a world that never seems to slow down. But here's what I've learned, not from comfort, but from struggle, that the moment you stop letting the world define you, you start becoming unstoppable. This isn't about fame, politics, or perfection. This is about something far deeper. It's about rediscovering who you are beneath the pressure, beneath the expectations, beneath the noise. I want you to stay with me until the very end, not because my story is special, but because it reflects your story. Because I believe every person listening right now has a moment, a decision, a breakthrough waiting to happen. So if you've ever felt lost, if you've ever felt unseen, if you've ever wondered whether your dreams are too far to reach, this message is for you. Stay with me. Listen closely. Because by the time we're done, you'll understand why this message is going viral, and why it needed to find you today. You know, there's something truly powerful about the moment you stop waiting for someone else to choose you, and decide to choose yourself. That moment changes everything. It's quiet, but it's revolutionary. It's not loud or dramatic, it's the kind of moment that happens in silence, when you're alone with your thoughts, when no one is clapping for you, when no one even believes in you anymore, but you choose to keep believing anyway. That's the beginning of every transformation story. That's where the real journey starts. Most people live their entire lives waiting for permission, waiting for validation, waiting for someone to finally tell them they're enough. But what if that moment never comes? What if no one ever gives you the approval you're hoping for? Does that mean you stop chasing your dream? Or do you realize that the only approval you ever needed was your own? Choosing yourself means understanding that your worth was never meant to be defined by the opinions of others. It means recognizing that the world might not applaud you at first, but that doesn't mean your light isn't shining. It just means it hasn't reached their eyes yet. I've seen so many people give up right before things were about to turn. They were exhausted, misunderstood, overlooked, and instead of holding on just a little longer, they walked away from everything they had been building. But the truth is, the world only starts to notice you after you've proven you can notice yourself. You have to be your first believer, your first supporter, your own source of courage when there's no one around to remind you of who you are. That's what choosing yourself truly means, not arrogance, not pride, but quiet self-respect. It's saying, I am not waiting for you to see my value. I already know what I bring. And yes, it's lonely sometimes. When you choose yourself, you might lose people. You might lose comfort. You might even lose the version of yourself that used to fit in everywhere. But what you gain is far more important. You gain clarity, confidence, and the freedom to live your life authentically. You stop playing small to make others comfortable. You stop silencing your voice to avoid being judged. You stop shrinking your dreams to fit into someone else's idea of what's realistic. Because here's the truth, no one who ever made an impact did it by playing it safe. Every strong person you admire had a moment when they chose themselves, not because it was easy, but because it was necessary. Choosing yourself also means owning your story, even the messy parts. It means not running away from your past, but using it as fuel for your future. There's power in your scars, strength in your struggles, and wisdom in your mistakes. The very things you thought would break you might be the exact reason someone else finds hope in you one day. When you choose yourself, you give others permission to do the same. You become a living example of what it looks like to rise. Growth. It sounds beautiful when we say it, doesn't it? But the truth is, growth rarely feels beautiful while it's happening. It's uncomfortable, it's messy, it's uncertain, and at times it feels unbearable. Everyone wants to evolve, to reach higher, to become their best self, but very few are willing to walk through the pain it takes to get there. Because growth doesn't happen in comfort, it happens in discomfort, in struggle, in the moments when you want to give up but don't. Those are the moments that define who you become. Think about it. Every major transformation in your life probably started with something difficult, a setback, a heartbreak, a rejection, or a disappointment that forced you to look deeper. Growth always asks for something in return. It demands your patience, your courage, and your willingness to let go of the old version of yourself. It's not glamorous. It's not instant. It's hard, and it tests everything inside you. But that's how you build strength that lasts. Because nothing that comes easy ever shapes your character. Only pressure does. Only resistance reveals who you really are. When you face challenges, it's easy to see them as punishment, but what if they're preparation? What if every closed door, every delay, every difficult season isn't holding you back, but preparing you for something greater than you can see right now? Sometimes the universe delays your dream because it's waiting for you to grow into the person who can handle it. Sometimes it holds you in the storm until you learn the discipline, humility, or resilience that success will require from you later. It's not rejection, it's refinement. It's shaping you for what's next. Growth hurts because it requires letting go of control. It means stepping into uncertainty without a guarantee that things will work out. But if you can learn to trust the process, even when it doesn't make sense, you'll discover that pain has a purpose. Every struggle carries a lesson. Every failure teaches you something that success never could. You can't learn strength without weakness. You can't learn confidence without insecurity. You can't learn patience without delay. These moments of discomfort are not obstacles, they are the path itself. I've met so many people who want change but are terrified of the pain that comes with it. They want growth, but not the sacrifice. They want transformation, but not the temporary chaos it brings. But you can't stay the same and expect your life to evolve. You can't cling to comfort and still become extraordinary. Growth means losing the old version of yourself, the one that settled, the one that doubted, the one that hesitated. And yes, it's painful to let go of what's familiar, even when it's not serving you anymore. But what's on the other side of that discomfort is freedom. Freedom to live, to rise, to see yourself with new eyes. Sometimes growth feels like breaking. It feels like everything is falling apart. You start questioning. You know, one of the most overlooked truths in life is that your energy is sacred. It's finite. It's powerful. And yet, so many of us give it away carelessly, to people who don't deserve it, to situations that drain us, to distractions that pull us off course. Protecting your energy isn't selfish, it's essential. It's the difference between living a life full of purpose and passion, and living a life that feels exhausting, chaotic, and unfulfilled. Think about it for a moment. Every opinion you absorb, every argument you engage in, every obligation you take on without thought, it costs something. It costs time. It costs focus. It costs the vitality you could have spent building yourself, pursuing your dreams, and nurturing the people and things that truly matter. When you fail to protect your energy, you become scattered. You lose clarity. You compromise your vision without even realizing it. The most successful, fulfilled people I've observed, the ones who radiate confidence and peace, have mastered the art of safeguarding their energy. They don't let others dictate how they feel or what they prioritize. It begins with awareness. You have to recognize where your energy is going, and to whom. Not everyone deserves access to your thoughts, your time, or your heart. There are people who show up only when it's convenient for them, who drain more than they give, who weigh you down with negativity, criticism, or doubt. Protecting your energy means setting boundaries, even when it's uncomfortable. It means saying no to invitations, relationships, or situations that take more than they offer. It means choosing wisely who gets to be part of your inner circle and who doesn't. And let me tell you, that choice will define the trajectory of your life. The challenge is that we live in a world that celebrates overcommitment. We're told that to be successful, we must please everyone, respond to every message, attend every event, and keep everyone happy. But here's the truth, when you spread yourself too thin, you dilute your impact. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Your time, your focus, your energy, they are your most valuable resources, and they must be managed carefully. Protecting them isn't arrogance. It's intelligence. It's self-respect. It's a recognition that your life is precious and that you deserve to invest in what matters most. Protecting your energy also requires emotional discipline. It means resisting the temptation to engage in petty conflicts, gossip, or drama. It means choosing peace over proving a point. It means letting go of resentment and refusing to let other people's negativity invade your space. That doesn't mean you ignore injustice or walk away from what's right. It means you don't let trivial battles steal your focus or your joy. Every minute spent in negativity is a minute stolen from your purpose. Every ounce of stress you absorb unnecessarily reduces your ability to perform, to create, and to inspire. And here's some. There's a truth that so many people overlook, and it's one of the most liberating truths you'll ever embrace. You define what success means. Not the world, not your family, not your friends, not the headlines or the accolades, you. Because if you let others define success for you, you will always feel like you're falling short, no matter how much you accomplish. You will always chase a version of happiness that isn't yours. But when you take back the authority to define what success means, everything changes. Suddenly, life becomes about purpose, fulfillment, and alignment, instead of comparison, pressure, and approval. Think about it for a moment. How often do we look at someone else's life and assume that they have it all figured out? We see the titles, the recognition, the wealth, the status, and we measure ourselves against that. But what we don't see is the cost, the sacrifices, the struggles, and the choices that person made along the way. And even if we did see it, the truth is, their version of success may have nothing to do with what would make us truly fulfilled. Defining your own success means acknowledging that your life is unique, and your journey should be too. It's about understanding that your goals, your happiness, and your legacy are personal, and no one else has the authority to decide what that looks like. Defining your own success is both a responsibility and a gift. It requires introspection, courage, and honesty. It means asking yourself the hard questions. What makes me feel alive? What work, contribution, or pursuit fills me with energy and meaning? What kind of relationships, environment, and daily habits align with my vision of a good life? These questions aren't easy to answer, because they require you to be truthful about what you want, not what others expect from you. But they are essential. Because if you ignore them, you risk living a life that feels like someone else's, not your own. And here's the thing, defining success for yourself doesn't mean you reject ambition or achievement. It doesn't mean you stop striving. It means that your striving is intentional, and it's aligned with who you are. It means your work, your goals, and your accomplishments serve a higher purpose, your purpose. It means that when you win on your terms. When you fail, you learn on your terms. And when you live fully, you do it authentically, without apology. That's a freedom that money, fame, or external validation can never give you. I've watched so many people chase markers of success they don't even care about, titles they never wanted, jobs they don't enjoy, lifestyles that feel hollow. They sacrifice their peace, their energy, their time, and even their health in pursuit of something that was never theirs to begin with. It's exhausting. It's disorienting. And it's unnecessary. The beauty of defining your own success is that it eliminates the need to measure yourself against anyone else. You stop comparing.